January 4, 1643. In a quiet English village, a child was born so small and frail, no one believed he would survive. That child's name was Isaac Newton. At that time, Europe was a continent shrouded in mystery. The stars were unexplained wonders. The very nature of motion was a puzzle. People looked to superstition, ancient traditions, and the authority of Aristotle, whose ideas had reigned for nearly 2,000 years. To question them was not just bold, it was often dangerous. But Newton would change everything. He wasn't born into wealth or power. Instead, he possessed an insatiable curiosity, an obsession with understanding how the world truly worked. He wasn't interested in belief. He was driven by evidence. Europe was just beginning to stir from its intellectual slumber in what we now call the scientific revolution. Pioneers like Galileo and Kepler had started to chip away at the old ways of thinking, but the picture was far from complete. Newton was the one who put the pieces together. He discovered the laws of motion, revealing that the same principles governed both a falling apple and the orbiting planets. Suddenly, the cosmos and the Earth were united by a single set of rules. He then gave us the law of universal gravitation, showing that every object in the universe pulls on every other object. The universe was no longer chaotic. It was a grand mathematical design. To describe all this, he invented an entirely new language, calculus, the mathematics of change. Without it, modern physics, engineering, and almost all of our technology simply wouldn't exist. This was more than just a scientific breakthrough. It was a revolution in human thought. Nature was no longer explained by what you were told to believe, but by what you could observe, test, and prove. Science finally broke free from the grip of theology. Reason began to challenge the absolute power of kings and empires. Knowledge became a tool for everyone, something to be built upon and shared. Newton's ideas fueled the Industrial Revolution, transforming everything from how we build bridges to how we navigate the seas. His work inspired the great thinkers of the Enlightenment, who used his logic to question the very foundations of society. In a very real sense, Newton's discoveries laid the groundwork for our modern world, from the factories that powered our cities to the satellites that now orbit our planet. Yet, he wasn't hailed as a grand revolutionary in his own time. Profound change rarely announces itself with a thunderclap. It often begins in silence with scribbled notes, complex calculations, and solitary thought. As Newton famously said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants," but after him, humanity saw the universe with new eyes. It became a place that could be understood, predicted, and explored, all because a fragile child survived and dared to ask why. Tomorrow, we'll uncover another date, another moment that shaped our world. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more journeys back in time.